Hey, what's going on guys? Sam is welcoming you to the Python programming course, and this is the starting video of chapter 1, which is about Python basics and using the interpreter. And from this chapter we'll be diving into the real Python programming. Remember, programming is fun, but you have to grab the concept properly into your mind about the language you're working with. And when you start to learn the programming language like Python, then you have to start to think like a computer scientist. Sounds hard? Let me clear. What is computer? Computer is a computing machine. More clearly, a computer is a device that can be instructed to carry out sequences of arithmetic or logical operation automatically. But nowadays, from entertainment to research about deep space and even cosmology, everything is done by computer. Probably you are thinking definitely there is relation between arithmetic operation and research. But what's happening in playing games, watching movies and social networking? Yes, there is also relation between them. To know all of this mystery, you have to know programming and computer technology in a better way. You can get a book on how to think like a computer scientist here in this interactive python.org site. This book is for learning Python. And I think this is a good book to learn Python in an advanced way. But for novice, starting with the simplicity is great. And we have to start with this basic. In Python, what can I do to start basic coding? In this URL, Python official wiki, you will get a sample of simple code. You can get them and practice yourself. But I will start with my own code. So opening up the idle, Python idle, which has come with Python by default. If you follow along with this Python programming series, then you already know that I have installed and configured the IDE Eclipse in the last video. But I will be using that on from next chapter. And now I'll be using, we'll see the basic uses of the Python interactive shell here in this idle. If you want, you can use the file editor here, but I'll not be using this. So close it, and first I'll talk about a simple calculation, an addition between two numbers. 10 plus 10 is equal to 20. In a simple way, this is something like a mathematical operation, but in programming context, this is an instruction to computer to add two number, that is 10 plus 10. And in Python, this is an expression, while 10 itself also is an expression. If you just type 10, hit enter, it made an output 10 as well. So all they are made legal output. In fact, any of the number is an expression itself. If you type that number and hit enter, it will make an output. And now look at this first example. Here the 10 is just a value and this plus sign is an operator, while in the second example 10 is a value allo. Both of them are expressions. So we can say expression made just by a value or by a value and an operator. I'll be talking more about operator in operator chapter, but before then we'll see some other arithmetic operation. Something like 20 minus 10 is equal to 10, 10 times 10 is equal to 100, 100 divided by 4 is equal to 25.0, and a mixed operation is something like 10 divided by 5 into 4 minus 3 plus 2 is equal to 7. Look, the output of the mixed operation is just happened at once, but in Python it was happening step by step. First division and multiplication, then addition and subtraction. Actually, this is the order of arithmetic operation in Python, but you can control this by using the parentheses. If I use the parentheses on the same example, then the output will be dependent on the position of the parentheses. Let's see, 10 minus divided into 4 minus 3 plus 2. Hit enter. Oops, I forgot to use the parentheses. 5, 4, I'm using parentheses here, opening parenthesis, 3, closed it, plus 2, hit enter. Look, the output is 4.0 just for using the parentheses. You can use other, you can change the position of the parentheses and it will depend on the position of that parenthesis. We can see some of the example in automated programming stuff site. Let's go there. Here in the first example, if I click next step, look, the high prior multiplication executed first and finally the addition. And if I click next step in this example, look, though there is multiplication exists, but addition executed first because this is within parentheses. And click next again. this one executed because I already told you that 5 itself also is an expression and it's within parentheses, so it's executed. And finally, no other operations, so multiplication will be executed. Click next. Yes. Now let's look at a little more complex example here. If I click next step again, look, this operation executed fast. You can ask me here then, this operation within parentheses, this one also, and this one. But why this operation executed fast? Because this is fast in order from the left and this is within parentheses, so it has been executed. If I next step, this one executed fast, though there is multiplication, division exists, but this one is within parentheses and this is fast in order from the left. And next step again, this one, and finally this would be happened. Obviously this would be happen first because this is high prior division and this is within the parentheses. So click next step. Yes. Final stage. The output is 16.0. So the order of the arithmetic operation in Python is first parenthesis, then multiplication, division and multiplication, and finally addition and subtraction. Now let's get back to the idle again. Here just concentrate on the output of this division, this mixed operation, this one as well. Look, I didn't put any decimal point here as well, but all the output are with decimal point. What's the mystery? The mystery is Python 3.x by default output the result of the division is with the decimal point, and if you want to get the result without decimal point, then you have to use double forward slash, something like 100 divided by 4. Look, this is without decimal point, this is with decimal point, and this double forward slash is called integer division. This is normal division. So this double forward slash called integer division, and it make output without decimal point, and this number is called integer number. The number without decimal point is called integer number, since you already know in mathematics. And here this single forward slash, the normal division, make output with decimal point, and this is called floating point number. Dear friends, do you know you already started to learn about the data type in programming language? Yes, floating point number and the integer, these are the primitive data type in programming language, and in Python these are included into the number types. I'll be talking more about other types in types chapter, but before then I will just introduce you with another type of data, that is string. We use double or single quote to enclose our string type data, something like hello world, hit enter, and with the single quote Python programming, click yes. The output is hello world and Python programming. If you want to get the output without the quote, then you have to use the print command. Print hello world, hit enter. Look, the output is without the quote. And if I use print command for this one, then print Python programming, hit enter. Look, the output is without the command. And now at the end of this video, I will just introduce you with another most significant concept in programming language, that is variable. If I put something equal to the expression, something like var equal to 10, then it will turn into an equation in mathematics. But in programming context, this right part will be assigned into this left part. I repeat, this right part will be assigned into this left part, and this left part is called variable. Variable is something like a box or container where you can put another stuff. Actually, this is a most significant thing in programming context, and we have to learn a lot about variable, and I'll be talking a little more detail about the variable in the next video. Until then, take your time, study some Python, and happy coding.